Yeah, episode 71.
Yeah. I was wondering if you're going to kick it off.
Yeah, episode 71. Welcome to Post 90 Podcast. I'm Justin. This is Adam. I feel like we don't do that enough, so we're going to start doing that maybe a little bit more whenever we can remember. While you're here, just give us a quick follow on Twitter. That's the best place to interact with us. It's the best place to, get involved in this community that is NYCFC. It's a great key. Yeah. It's a door right into the community. And then anywhere else that you can hear podcasts, that's where we are. So you can find all 70 other episodes on there.
Yeah, there's a lot of words in there that were talked over the course of,
a lot of rambles.
It's like 3 years now. I think we didn't talk about it at all when it happened, but June, I believe, was someday in June, it was our anniversary. Our Twitter has founded in June, whatever, 2019 or 2020, whatever it is.
I think, just think about the beginning real quick. I mean, if we want to talk about it real quick before we get into the episode in the game, we did right before this say that we were not going to ramble, but here is a quick ramble. I promise I'll keep it short. But back in the day when we were first starting this, we went to the store. We actually went to a physical store to purchase CBD soda. Yeah. Just so that we could be in front of a camera and talk and be comfortable. Mm-hmm. And even then, if you make me watch it again, I'll just
cringe to
unalive. And
which is weird because prior to the podcast, essentially almost every conversation that we would have just in regular life would be about the team and talking about them.
And just the fact that a camera was
they
on.
Were founded.
And even your background, for work, you've done work in front of a camera.
You as a salesman.
Yeah, sales. I did the morning news for my high school. There was no reason it should be. I just felt like we knew
it's different,
what it could be.
I think when you really work is one thing, you're kind of being forced to do it and all that. It's but when you really have a passion and to care about it, it's
you're opening yourself up a little bit.
Yeah, there's some dogs out there that might let us know we suck or something, or not agree with our views, or who knows.
I don't care if someone disagrees with me. I'll tell you you're wrong to your face, but it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you could talk about it, and that's the beauty, I think, of this whole thing that we've found our way into doing, is being able to share conversations with people that do and don't agree with you, and sharing opinions and figuring out why somebody thinks something about a team when you could have swore a minute prior that there was no way that your mind could have been changed, or that you saw it a way that you did,
or even just having conversations with people you never thought you would. Mm-hmm. And so it's crazy. So thank you guys for even making it to this point. And follow us if you're down for the journey. It's gonna be a long one, but we're gonna be here for the whole ride.
Yeah, and
you might be able to hear Tupac if you're lucky.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, somebody is playing you Tupac.
Our street has been a live concert today, I would say. Pretty much the
whole day.
Sunset or sunrise to now.
Yeah. Which you gotta work in that. I don't.
Yeah.
I kind of just get to go to the quiet places and take naps. So
see, when we have to interject in the middle of our podcast to be somebody's riding down the street playing Tupac, I have to do that, but in a
meeting.
Formal work meeting,
when you're dealing with the types of Adidas and Don Julio, and
Jose Cuervo and
the correction, so that we don't make his marketing agent
we don't
mad.
work with Don Julio, but
for the correct.
Some would say Cuervo is larger
if you are in the business.
If you're in the business of bev alcohol. But
so here we are, not waffling, but we waffled an entire 5-minute intro. What are your initial thoughts on the game, just in general?
Obviously happy with the outcome of it. Cushion getting his second win in a row is obviously massive for the club, and I think more massive for him. We talked about last episode how if that game against New England didn't go his way, that the seat would have been as hot as the seat could be, at least in the eyes of fans. So to get 2 in a row, especially I think in the conditions of FC Dallas, and I'm not just talking about the Heat, so don't call me Bruce, but like the rotated lineup that we rolled out,
right.
No Maxey, no Taty, no Collins. I mean, that is literally in all three sectors of our field, our best players are not on the field.
Yep.
Like literally defense, attack, and midfield.
Yeah, and not to mention in the middle of the game, potentially losing guys for significant amounts of time of the game with various knocks.
Yeah. And then of course you mentioned Tinnerholm too. And FC Dallas, from what I read online from some fans of theirs, it wasn't their strongest lineup either. They had they had
a lot of people missing.
Yeah, they had 2 or 3 guys out, but at the end of the day, they still had like Jesus Ferreira in there, who is
a dog.
Yeah, an absolute dog, obviously, for club and country right now. He had that men's national team game where he scored 4, a la Taty. But we were able to thing you put on a dog so they can't bite you.
Muzzle?
A muzzle, yeah. We were able to muzzle them, maybe put them on a leash, whatever you want to call it.
Muzzle that dog.
And a lot of that came by way of Maxime Chanot, who...
Yeah, he was a dog.
Who, with that mask on and...
Then he ripped it off.
Yeah,
I think he ripped it off like 30 minutes in.
I think even pre-game.
No, I think he started the game with it. If I remember correctly, I could literally be talking. I have no idea. But I'm pretty sure he started it with it, and then after the hydration break, it was gone.
Yeah. Regardless, obviously he got the Team of the Week nod from the MLS. Completely deserved, and it's like so weird that we have the depth that like Chanot is not going to play against the Red Bulls. Like for sure this weekend. I guarantee not. I actually, it kind of depends on Thiago Martin's fitness,
it depends on
right?
him. What's up with Collins?
Just resting, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think they put it on the injury report as questionable with like lower body, which, I mean,
it could be
waist
anything.
down, lower body.
Remember when it was Maxey with the trunk injury?
Yeah,
it's like what is
that? I didn't know
mean?
he was into trees.
But yeah, I mean, I think I share the same opinion, really. I mean, with the lineup that we had, the players that we had for selection, the change of the system, Justin Haak in the midfield, is a 1-0 win. We kind of scraped it by. That's what you expect when you have those players, and I just think it was a good result because it shows that even with a B team, quote unquote B team, we've had a lot of back and forth this week about B teams and A teams and C teams, but I think we had some players out there that really did have the dog in them to just go and get it done, and I thought Justin Haak put us in some questionable situations a few times, but I thought he was really good personally. I thought overall he was really, really good. Despite those few mistakes, but you gotta, chalk it up to first start, energy. He misplaced a couple passes. Yeah. A couple missed tackles or in the wrong position a few times, but overall, him getting stuck in is like, it's amazing to watch. I texted you a few times. I'm not gonna be the guy to put him at Sands' expectations or anything. He's obviously years removed from being able to have production of that level. I would say at least like 2 years. Like I don't see him starting again this season without injury. You know what I mean? I think he'll be better than Sands,
rotations, but like he probably doesn't start more than 3 games or 4 games without some kind of major injury to somebody.
Yeah.
But it's the academy kid thing. It's like doesn't get better than that. Really, it doesn't.
I mean, I see him a little differently than Sands. I think he can move better than Sands.
Obviously, much bigger.
Yeah,
we pleaded some off seasons for Jimmy to
just get in the gym.
Yeah, get in the gym yeah.
No, I think overall he might be a better baller than Sands. In the long run,
I think he looks forward better than Sands.
But I would love to see like 2-3 years from now a midfield for the national team of Sands and Haak. I think that'd be insane.
I was actually thinking about tweeting this pregame that this lineup was almost a preview of what we might see like next year as like a steady lineup.
Probably, yeah.
Like Haak starting, Heber starting because Taty's left.
Right.
Maxi obviously another year older, so Santi is getting a nod instead of him.
Right.
The only thing that I really didn't agree with from Nick was that Thiago found his way into the team, and I was proven wrong for sure because he looked pretty good on the left side, but like the fact that we didn't have Maxi in the game and Santi was still stuck on the right wing to me was like such a fumble. But you know, he got his assist too, so it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, at the end of the day, I didn't think. I mean, Thiago left wing back was exactly what you would expect it to be. Mm-hmm. Defensively, not so great. Offensively, you know, could be better. He didn't really help us a ton, but he didn't really hurt us a ton either. Mm-hmm. You know, I thought he could have been a little bit better on the delivery, but honestly, like his delivery looked better than what I would expect from like a Tavon.
Yeah, I mean, he also pulled up pretty early with the hamstring
and fought through it.
Yeah, he fought through it, and you could definitely tell as we're getting like the 70th minute and that it was affecting him for sure. And you know, obviously the heat was too. Yeah. It was affecting a few of the boys out there, but like Haak started to. I do think that Haak did well, you know, outside of those three things, but there was definitely a point where it almost felt like the wheels fell completely off, and then they did find their way back on. Yeah. But there was like a 5 or 10 minute period there where it was like, this kid's gonna give up an equalizer and a go ahead for sure. But
with the passing.
Yeah. But definitely. Other than that, he was doing well.
Yeah, and I almost wanted Thiago when he did start to pull up or feel a little bit of tenseness, you know, whatever, mm-hmm. in his calf or hamstring or whatever it was. You know, I almost wanted him to go down in that moment just to be like, you know, when you have that type of speed, mm-hmm. the muscle injury could set you back so far. Yeah. And that's something you don't want to lose or. You know, when you're that young, you don't need to keep playing. Like, we have Malt on the bench, who I'm assuming is there due to rest. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I would say just go down. But I'm happy. I mean, at the end of the day, I think who replaced him, I know Malt came on, and who was right?
GP came in.
Jason was right back at the end.
And Jason came in as well.
I know they switched the formation, but yeah, he was dropping back pretty far and then going up. So, yeah, overall, I think everyone just played their part. I thought it was good to see Heber get a goal in open play. The touch by Santi was ridiculous, mm-hmm. like truly insane. Yeah, and it came from a play that ultimately Sean created out of the back too, on a big old Louis Barraza-esque ball to the attackers, and Tavon gave it one knock on to Santi. Do you think he meant it?
He'll tell you he would.
He would tell you, yeah. But
I'll tell you he would too. You know what?
I'll give it to him.
I'll give it to him. Yeah.
Why not?
I liked his tweet after the game because he said, despite you know what the situation was generally with the lineup, the heat, the traveling, the midweek, all that, he's like, regardless of all that, like, we found a way. And I think that statement is literally like what makes champions, is like, that's
what got us this.
Yeah.
This was exactly finding a way.
That's like, that to me is like the tagline of a champion, is like, find a way. Like, right. Regardless of literally anything else that can be thrown at you, you find a way. And like, that's all I could think after the game was like, hey, if we can find a way, then like, we can find a way.
And I think we definitely know now that Alfredo Morales is not a center back, though. Mm-hmm. That experiment should wrap up very nicely soon.
Died a while ago.
I think at this point it's not an experiment. It's probably due to
it's forced.
Just forced in needing to, you know, he's the duct tape center back for us.
Yeah, and I think that the last thing I maybe want to get into before we talk about the Red Bulls a little bit is a little bit more about Heber, and we touched on it last episode briefly, but I think this just added to our point last week that if we sell Taty, although now there's rumors with the Romanian Florian Tanasi.
That's the white American pronunciation. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know how could Romanians would say it. It could be Tanas. I have no idea.
That'd be sick.
But Tanase, that's how I read it. So
Yeah, but to build on what we were saying last episode, Heber came out here and proved us right, where I'm not totally sure that if Taty goes that a replacement is needed. And, we had a little bit of back and forth on Twitter with, I believe it's just the Pigeons, NYCFC, some fan account on Twitter that, shares their opinion as well. And they were talking about how good Heber is. And I remember whenever we got sent like a copy of the history book for the club, from the club, was the goals per game stats in a season. And like the craziest thing, not to get too deep into it, is Heber in 2019 was like literally he was a savage, as Ian Joy
savage
loves to call him, his savage. And if he gets into form like that again, we don't need another human playing striker for NYCFC.
Until he retires, really.
Yeah.
And the fact that we have Heber makes it so much easier to sell Taty, and then it makes me so much more comfortable in the fact that we would then be developing some striker to fill that role later as well.
Yeah,
I don't think
if it's not Tales.
Yeah, I feel like purchasing a striker just is so much added pressure to the team and to that player. I don't in an unfair way.
If you're meant to be coming in as the starter too,
right? Yeah,
I
think it's so much added pressure. You see it with Higuain. He turned into a shadow of himself, and he was a dog for years.
I was going to say, think of when Thiago joined NYCFC, and what was it, his first or his second sub into the game? He has that goal in stoppage time with the cutback, buries it in the left corner of the keeper after sprinting like the entire length of the field, and then he went missing. Right. And we sat on these mics and we were like, it's not easy to come in. There were expectations, just the fact that you were purchased, period. And then to do that in one of your first appearances.
To flash that so soon.
And then to be ultimately expected immediately to continue that form consistently until the end of time, really. Because that's what fans want. Yeah. It's impossible, like literally impossible. There's not a player that can do that forever.
But it was, I just think in my opinion, it's easier, not easier, it's hard as hell, but it's better to then develop somebody within the club, develop them within the system. It just takes a little bit of that pressure off of, having a price tag and expectations and blah, blah, blah. When you're Kevin O'Toole, that's coming up to just, be the striker for the day. It's a lot easier than being, Kevin O'Toole that just got purchased, and he's coming in, he's got this price tag or this contract structure type or whatever it is. I just feel like it's easier.
It's more fun that way too, as fans, honestly. Yeah, when somebody comes from within the club.
Justin Haak and Gray and Jason and all these dudes play. I mean, I felt really, really proud when we had all those dudes on the field. Yeah. Dog walking.
And it's like, can you imagine, like, we just sat here and watched the MLS Super Draft, and we watched Kevin O'Toole get drafted in the MLS Super Draft from Princeton. Like, what if in like 3 years from now he bangs like 20 goals in for us?
That'd be crazy.
Like,
literally insane.
And we were like, all of us as fans were sitting here like on the ground floor, like, we're looking up the college highlights. We're like, he looks decent. Like, this is something that can be built on. Right. And like, we have the system in place to build somebody up like that. And like,
definitely the coaching
to see that
everything.
Come in front of you, to
could
see
be the 14-year-old we literally just watched.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I ultimately think our short-term replacement is still Tales over Heber, because I'm really worried about Heber's ability to get back to that form, because it's so far beyond where he's been lately. But I also like Tales on the wing, so it's so hard.
I would almost argue that Tales is the long term. Because Heber, you know what you're going to get. Is
that copium because you just bought Tales' jersey? You hope he's like going to be with the team for a long time?
Yeah, well, I hope he's going to be here forever. I mean, honestly, I just think when you look at his age, his ability to have that final product, that needs to be trained.
Yeah.
Whereas
he has a case of the Wandos.
Yeah.
Or he has in the past.
Heber has everything. He just needs to apply it every game.
Yeah, flick the switch.
And And I think in a long run of games, Heber is going to score more than Tales right now, this season, current form.
For sure.
But Tales, he's the guy that you want to, keep giving those games to build up to that point, to where when he's 21 years old, he's being sold to some European giant for some insane amount of money.
Yeah.
I think, Tales would be more of like the long-term plan.
Yeah.
And Heber is kind of the right now, get it done.
And my last thing to sum up FC Dallas is if by some miracle, like an FC Dallas fan ends up hearing this, props to you guys. I saw no hate, no ill words, nothing on Twitter from the FC Dallas community, and that is going to be. It was nice to end the game, and obviously emotion comes when you lose or if you draw.
Maybe they were all asleep.
It's possible.
Oh no, it's backwards.
Or just like laying in front of an AC, just trying to
cope,
breathe. Really.
Yeah.
But we didn't see any of that from them, and that's much different than the last few games we've gone through, where even though you can beat the Revs 4-2 at home, you're still pissed off after the game, and like that didn't happen this time, and that's not what's going to happen this weekend, because we obviously have the Red Bulls coming in, the Donkeys, the New Jerseyans, whatever you want to call them. We're obviously playing them this weekend. It's rivalry week.
Oh, this is stadium talk time then.
I don't know. I think Jordan Griffith said there's no announcement coming, and then Davey said that he spoke to a ticket rep who said there's nothing going on about the temporary news, but who really knows?
Interesting.
But regardless, we have to play these guys, and obviously everybody remembers the last game in the Open Cup, how absolutely unhinged that game. Like that game, that ref never for a second had control. Like literally not for a second, which was so mind blowing, having been apparently the USL ref of the year the prior year. But I think MLS took note of that. They released like the referee committee. Apparently, a really strong ref has coached or has reffed like 204 games, something crazy like that, and a super strong like committee, the second, third, fourth, all those guys. So hopefully they have the ability to keep it under control, because I think both teams actually
I think we need
that.
to keep it under control as well.
I'm worried about us.
I know.
We're such like a hothead team, which is like I think I'd rather be a hothead team than not be, but I just hate that. I hate what comes with being that, like being punished for it. Like I wish we could just do it and get away with it. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Do you have any idea where you think this game's going to go? Because we're not playing the kids. Yeah. There probably won't be any kids.
We have a fully rested Collins, a fully rested Taty, fully rested Maxi, and hopefully Maxi and Collins, with whatever these small knocks were, aren't gonna affect them whatsoever in this game. But I always like my chances against the Red Bulls.
I'm thinking
that's the issue.
Tales, Taty, Santi, Maxi.
In the diamond?
No, we'll just like 4-3, 4-3-3.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
We go back to what we were doing. We don't. I don't think we play another three at the back. That'd be boring to me personally. But
yeah, I think we were just forced into that.
Although I didn't mind it when Ronnie did it. But that's when we had all three. We had Thiago. I believe we still possibly had Chanot and Collins, and then we actually had fullbacks. Yeah. That I wouldn't mind seeing personally.
Yeah, I mean, with the form that Chanot's in, I think it's like impossible to drop him from the lineup. But I'm also 100% sure if we're playing two center backs, he's not going to play.
I think he should.
I don't know. I don't know if I think
over
he should.
Thiago?
I was going to say I don't or I do.
Thiago Martins has been playing very well though.
Yeah, it's
hard to displace him, but you can absolutely not.
And Collins is one of the two.
You can't have a healthy Collins on the bench. That isn't possible.
So that's what I'm saying. It's tough to... Yeah, but it's like Thiago Martins has been playing well, so Chanot's team of the week. When was the last time that Chanot got team of the week? Genuinely. Oh. I don't think there's like a fan that could call that off the top of their head. Nah. There's no chance.
I could tell you in FIFA 19, he had a team of the week in like
3 years ago.
13 or something. I don't know.
I mean, I probably would have given it to him if there were Open Cup Team of the Weeks for that one game where he scored the goal. He was out of his mind, but also playing B-side New England Revolution. So, I don't know.
Probably better than the first team.
It's good when you have 3 center backs that you literally can't pick 2 from.
Oh, yeah, we're in a good place with that. Yeah.
Which is wild.
Definitely. But yeah, I think pretty much wraps up our thoughts on the game and where we're going. Obviously, you're going to hear from us after the game because it's such a big one.
Mm-hmm. As soon as we can get it out to you, we will. So
yeah, and so thank you guys for watching. If you made it to this point, I'll say it again. Give us a follow on Twitter. Hopefully, we've earned it with that episode. We got many more like it.
Yeah,
and anywhere that you can listen to us, if you're hearing us now, obviously we're on that platform.
Spotify.
Anywhere else you want to listen to us, if you want to listen to us without looking at us,
I think.
Spotify,
See, the thing is
Apple.
that we have a website and we just give the audio file to the website, and then the website's like, I'm going to post it in 90 different places. Is that cool? And I'm like, that's actually what we're looking for.
That's preferred, yes.
So shout out them.
Shout out that website.
Shout out them.
Shout out you guys for watching it and everything. We
always sauce that sub on YouTube. That's like the spot.
Yeah, because you'll get shorts. I think our short game is better than the clubs even. Mm-hmm. And so go ahead and give that a follow. Give us a follow on Twitter, and we'll see you guys next week after the game.
See ya.
Peace.